Speaker, my question is for the Premier. In his first opportunity to travel as PC leader, Patrick Brown not only chose to go to Northern Ontario, he chose the Ring of Fire. I saw the excitement in his eyes. He gets it. He saw the huge potential in the Ring of Fire.
Order. My statement still holds on all sides. Finish, please.
Speaker, he saw the huge potential in the Ring of Fire, an opportunity of a lifetime to create jobs and help turn Ontario's economy around. But what he didn't see were the hundreds of miners who used to work at the base camp. They're all gone. They're down to a half-dozen workers, all because this government has done nothing for...
So let's put it to the test. It stops now. Wrap up, please.
Thank you. We can tell this hit a nerve because they've done nothing for 7 years. Premier Patrick Brown wants the Ring of Fire to be at the centre of the economic plan for Ontario. Why is it that Patrick Brown spent more time in his first 2 weeks on the job in the Ring of Fire than you?
Thank you. Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Well, you know, when I was paddling the Ottawa-Piscat River in the Ring of Fire area, I actually didn't notice 2 years ago any of the members of the opposition on the river with me, Mr. Speaker. When I have traveled repeatedly to the north and met with First Nations, when I flew to Webequie, Mr. Speaker, and met with the community and talked about the training opportunities that are now in place, Mr. Speaker, so that people in Webequie could be part of the development of the Ring of Fire, Mr. Speaker, I actually didn't hear a comment from the Leader of the Opposition. When we were working, Mr. Speaker, to put together a framework agreement with the Mattawa First Nations, when we were working to put together...
The member from Dufferin, Caledon, the second time. Please finish.
The Development Corporation, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that First Nations and business and the provincial government were together. But, Mr. Speaker, where was Patrick Brown when he was the MP, Mr. Speaker?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Thank you. Supplementary.
Well, you know, Maclean's magazine called your strategy a hodgepodge of hope, pray, and blame Ottawa. Well, that's your answer for everything. Blame Ottawa. But you haven't even made an application for a Ring of Fire. You're blaming them in advance, Premier. Quit pointing your fingers and actually get something done. Our leader, Patrick Brown, has already traveled to the Ring of Fire. He got his hands covered in nickel and chromite dust. He looked into the eyes of the people left there, and he gave them hope. 7 years have passed.
Order. Final wrap-up part of the question.
7 years have passed since the discovery of the Ring of Fire. Premier, how many more years have to pass before you actually do anything?
Premier.
I'd be happy to brief Mr. Brown on how you get from Pickle Lake into the Ottawa. Mr. Speaker. how you can actually canoe into the Ring of Fire area, Mr. Speaker. I'd be happy to brief him on that. And I hope that now that he is a provincial representative, or he's not actually yet, but now that he's with the provincial government, Mr. Speaker, that he will call on Ottawa to match the $1 billion that we have put up, Mr. Speaker, to actually build the infrastructure. Because if the member opposite is not aware, what is really needed is infrastructure, Mr. Speaker. It's extremely important that we build infrastructure to allow the Ring of Fire to be developed. That's why we've committed $1 billion. That's why we've been working with the First Nations, Mr. Speaker, to make sure that we can get that infrastructure built. And the commitment of $1 billion.
In case you didn't hear, the member from Nipissing come to order, please. You asked the question, and the member from Prince Edward Hastings, warning. You are warned. Finish, please.
$1 billion to that infrastructure, Mr. Speaker, goes way beyond talk and way into action, and that's what we need from the federal government as well, Mr. Speaker.